The clock tower is a being that I had made. A being that I liked to call the clock tower. The clock tower is basically just a clock tower with an eye. She cannot speak unless you go to the top and talk to her. Then she can actually speak. It's just like regular clock towers, but she can watch everything. Her eye is a blue glowing gear eye. If anyone has seen Monster High, they would know Rebecca has that type of eyes. It's cute. I like it. That's why I kind of use it on the clock tower. The clock tower is a being of seeing all. What she does is just watch people who have died and take it into her place. She's basically like a limbo afterlife person. That's who she is. I do not know her full story, but each of the areas has a piece of her organ. She obviously was once human before she became what she is, as known as the clock tower. And the clock tower has many things. The clock tower has different gods, as I call them. And each of those gods have a story. Like for Mother Lee is supposed to be known as a mother spirit. She had died protecting her children and she became known as a mother god, taking care of the dead children and helping them find their way to their parents, their actual parents, not their adoptive ones if they were adopted. And if the parents cause the death, she will let them stay in her home, as she calls it, and takes care of them very well. And as for the adults that are still waiting for their families, they become the maids of the place. That's basically what motherly is. And each of her children, of course, had different fates of death. One had drowning, one died by fire, and the other died by the snow. You might be wondering why I'm sniffling so much. It's because I'm sick. But anyway, Mother May's children's souls are little spirits. They're small indie spirits. I will show them as a photo of their mother and them. It's kind of cute and sweet. They, of course, also help the children out by leading them to their mother. And that's basically what I know from Mother May. I can tell more about her. The Gem Ward is the next area. It is the second chime. The second chime, each chime basically is supposed to represent an area to me. And the Gem Ward is basically where mentally ill people go. The word gem in it is still unknown, but one of the organs is there, and it is the clock tower's heart. to the gem ward to get themselves fixed. Some of them are even badly injured and mentally unwell and need to stay there for their safety and their health, which actually works pretty well. And the next one is Let It Be. Let It Be is basically another being, like the clock tower a bit, but except it lives inside the clock tower and it does not say a word. It's basically like the pet of the place because it is. It's very calm and helpful. It lets the kids brush it long as they're gentle. Motherly sometimes comes around to check on it, taking care of it, making sure it's clean, fed, and well. And what I think Let It Be was a human being that was experimented on to be a weapon, but it died later on before anyone could use it. I know these are my characters, I should know the lore, but I'm not quite into my lores. And next up is the Weeping Garden. The Weeping Garden is a garden that has a bunch of flowers. Each of them are swirled, purple, or each of them have their unique design. The Weeping Garden is made by someone that they call the Flower. The Flower also lived there, but their mom died first before them. They had died by someone we will know as the Star. And the Flower basically came to the place and was upset. Motherly, of course, helped them because they were 17 when they died. Ain't that fun? Anyway, the mother is known as Mary, not Mother Mary or Bloody Mary, but basically just Mary. She loved her kid before she died. She at least got to see him age up till he was 16. The father left when he was 17. A few months later, it was almost his birthday and he died at 17, meaning he is now 18 if he died on his birthday. And yeah, the Weeping Garden is basically made by the Flower's ability, which is why their nickname is the Flower. It's to hide their identity and to know their ability. The Flower being, of course, the flower in general. The Flower lets the kids explore its garden, enjoying the fact that the kids are enjoying it, but they quite aren't enjoying it. They miss their friends, of course, even the Star. People understand that when you die, you probably also miss your friends, if you ever felt that. Even when you're alive, you miss your friends. Especially because the Star and the Flower were best friends before the fight. But the fight will be later. Right now, next up is the flower itself. So we know that the lore about the flower is that it died, and that sometimes I confuse it with lust when it isn't. It's just doing its job. It got 2 different guards. It got to choose 2 different guards before it was allowed to basically have its area decorated. It chose 2 different people. One of the kids, Anna, because it represented the teacher to it a bit, which was sweet and cute. And hunger. Hunger is basically what you feel, and she died of starvation before becoming a being of the clock tower. She just stays in her box. She has a big old grin. Of course, it opens and a little arm slowly grabs whatever food she's hanging above the mouth so she can eat, because that's how she eats. Because inside her is still her kid self. Like I said, she's died of starvation. It isn't the parents' fault, it's the kidnapper's fault. And each of the... Anyway, that's basically the guards that it chose. It actually works sometimes, and you have to bypass hunger by giving her food. But Anna, she tries to help the flower enjoy what it has. The flower's room is, of course, all colorful, and it has something keeping its identity secret on its throne too, indicating that it really wants to keep its face and whole thing sealed. And I remember trying to do an iLocore about the flower, and it's basically connected to that. That's what the flower is. That's who the flower is. And the one thing that every one of the beings hates is the parasite. The parasite was a being that caused the incident. I am going to stop it here for a bit and then return to when I'm able to, of course, and I gotta do some chores.